It's happening. I cannot believe it. I am just extremely excited. So, opening later this year in 2025 is a brand spanking new Nintendo store here in Fukuoka. When I first saw it, I was just ecstatic. I was so excited. I was just like, thank you. I have been trying to get out to one of the other three stores, being Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto, for like months now. Ever since we moved out here, I've been wanting to go. However, between work and, having a young kid and stuff like that, you're not as mobile as you were before. I've been planning to go out there a couple of times. I wanted to fly out there or take a train or just, whatever. There's so many different modes of travel out here. But I don't know, just for one reason or another, I just never really made it out there. I just, couldn't pull the trigger, couldn't do it. And now I don't have to, because they're going to put one in here in Fukuoka. Now, I do have some fears. I have some concerns here with this. This isn't all great. When I looked up where this is going to be, I was like excited at first. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Where are you going to put it? Because the Pokemon Center here in Fukuoka, so first of all, I am not in Fukuoka City. I'm just in Fukuoka Prefecture. Actually, right on the line between Fukuoka and Oita, kind of out in the middle of nowhere. But where the Pokemon Center is right now is in Hakata Station. Hakata Station is a very, very, very busy train station. It is sort of the central hub of the Shinkansens for all of Kyushu, and it's kind of like basically the Grand Central Station of the whole Kyushu region. So if you're going to go from anywhere in Kyushu to up north, you're probably going to go through Fukuoka. My guess is you're going to probably have to go through there unless you're going to fly out someplace else. So with that being said, you're kind of bottlenecks through Hakata Station to get to wherever it is you're going, which means it's butt crowded out there. It's super, super crowded. So it's not quite the best place that you want to be shopping and hanging out. And that's where that Pokemon Center is. When my buddy and I flew out here in 2019, not here as in Kyushu, here as in Japan. We flew out to Japan in 2019. We traveled all over the place. We started in Sendai and worked all the way down to Hiroshima. And then kind of went up and down and around and wherever we were feeling like going. We never made it to Kyushu. Hiroshima was the farthest south we went. But we stopped at a lot of Pokemon centers. And a lot of the Pokemon centers were really cool. Most of them that we went to were in Tokyo. But they were really big and like nice and had multiple entrances and had sort of a kind of a flow. I really enjoyed them. So when I first went to the Pokemon Center here in Fukuoka City, I had expectations. I thought I knew what I was going to see. I thought I knew what I was going to get into, and I was very, very wrong. The Fukuoka City Hakata Station Center, Pokemon Center thing is pretty small. They have a lot of merchandise, but it's small because everybody in the region has to go to just this one Pokemon Center. This is the only one you get. I'm shocked. It's like, why don't you put one in Nagasaki? Why don't you put one in Miyazaki? Why don't you put one in Oita City? Like, spread it out a little bit. So that way this one's not quite so crazy. But they just don't for some reason. Hopefully they open more. We'll have to see. But this one is very small. There's not a big, grand Pokemon statue like the other ones somewhere. They got little miniature one out front. It's kind of a disappointing place. And the stuff that they got the big wall of plushies, and then they've got some dishware and they've got some other t-shirt, small things, but they don't really have a lot of merchandise. And so my first concern was like, please don't put it at Hakata Station because it's a tiny little place. And of course, that's where they're going to put it. Now, trying to be optimistic here, they could be renting a larger space than what the Pokemon Center has. They could be getting a larger space than that. They could be spreading out a little bit more. Hopefully that's what they're doing, because I tell you, if they're going to have a place the size of the Pokemon Center or smaller, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be horrible in there. It's going to constantly be packed. It's going to be wall-to-wall bodies, and it's just not going to be pleasant. When I lived in Fukuoka City for the first year that I was here in Japan, and then eventually I moved out to the countryside. So I would sometimes just ride my bike to Hakata Station, park my bike in the basement, go upstairs, because they got a great bookstore there. So if you're traveling through Kyushu and you stop at Hakata Station and you want to go get a book, the biggest English bookstore section in Kyushu is, I believe, at Hakata Station. I have never found a place better than that. Everything else is either one shelf or no shelves of English books. But Hakata Station has a banging English section, a huge bookstore, massive English section, great. So I'd go there pretty much for all of my books. And the Pokemon Center is like right across the hall from the bookshop. So it's hard to not go to both, right? They're both on the seventh floor or 8th floor, one of those two. You just walk right across the hallway. It's right there. I'd go check it out. And it was really only horrible when a new card pack would drop. Whenever they release a new booster pack or something, everybody was wall-to-wall bodies. You couldn't even get in there. It was just a nightmare. But if you went there on Monday lunchtime or like Wednesday lunchtime, like anything before 2 o'clock p.m., you're usually pretty good. It's not usually too bad. It's that dreaded Saturday that you want to stay away from. I made the mistake once of going to Hakata Station on a Saturday, and I wanted to kill myself. It was horrible. I mean, you're waiting in line to use an elevator. You're waiting in line for everything. And I just was like, I'm gonna jump out of a window. This is hell. So I just left. So I'm hoping that they kind of get a bigger location out there. I will say that, and here I'll link some photos here for those of you that are curious. Nintendo did do a pop-up event at Hakata Station in 2023, and I went to it with my wife. It was great. It was like a little miniature store. They didn't have a huge selection, but they had enough stuff. You could tell that they only chose certain franchises to represent. So Splatoon 3 was on the horizon at this time. So they sold a lot of Splatoon stuff. They had a lot of Animal Crossing stuff. They had a lot of Mario stuff. And then I believe they had a lot of Zelda stuff. And they had a couple little Pikmin plushies, and that was kind of it. Outside of those franchises, they didn't really have much. I was disappointed because Pikmin 4 had already been announced, but they didn't have the massive Pikmin merch line out yet. Otherwise, I would have bought everything. But I'm not going to lie. When I went to the pop-up Fukuoka store, I bought like probably $800 worth of crap. I still have it to this day. I love it. It's on display in my house. Like, my wife and I love it. Like, because they sell the coolest stuff here in Japan at the Nintendo stores. They have like everyday items that are really well made and like actually very useful, like kitchen stuff or like utensils, or like I've got a really cool Pikmin clock. Like, there's just cool things that are just slightly Nintendo. Like, it's like, we're just gonna put a Nintendo spin on this kind of item. And it's really cool. It's like stuff way better than the My Nintendo store stuff in America. Now, since they have just recently, and I'm talking within the last week, they have just opened the San Francisco store. The Nintendo San Francisco store has opened. And of course, the New York City store has been open forever now. And here's a photo of me at the Nintendo store in New York City. That place is fantastic. I absolutely love that. It's 2 floors of nothing but just Nintendo stuff. I mean, scatter my ashes there, please. Just kidding. but it was just fantastic. I love that store, and I'm hoping that the San Francisco store is great too. I'm a little disappointed that they put it there. I'm surprised they didn't put one in like Chicago or LA or something like that. Like San Francisco's kind of odd. I just don't feel like Washington. Shouldn't there be one in like Seattle? That's where Nintendo's headquarters is. Like it's odd. San Francisco. Why San Francisco? I mean, I was born in the Bay Area, but still it's a little odd. I don't think Nintendo when I think San Francisco. But anyway, regardless, I'm so happy that this is the next big flagship store that they're going to put out. Hopefully they're going to put out more. But I'm so happy that there's going to be one here in Kyushu. I'm very proud of Kyushu. I'm pretty loyal to this place. So I'm glad that, we're kind of stepping it up. I wish that they were going to put it in Tenjin. So for those of you that have never been to Fukuoka City, Tenjin is like a massive shopping district. It's basically where all of the tourists go. They've got like big cameras there, and they've got this big Solaria Plaza and like a lot of department stores all over the place. Like basically, if you live in Fukuoka City and you want something name brand, like if you want like a Patagonia something, you go to the Patagonia store, they're in Tenjin, right? Like there's all this stuff right there in this one shopping district. And I was like, immediately when they announced Fukuoka, I was like, please put it in Tenjin. I want to see a Fukuoka store in Tenjin because I know it's going to be great. It's going to be classy. They're going to go all out and it's going to be fantastic. And then I saw they were putting it at Hakata Station. And it's like, it's good. I'm glad it's there, but I just please do it right. Give us like a lot of space, make it big enough. And I'll kind of segue now into my hopes for this Hakata Station location. Once again, make it big enough, Nintendo. When they came in 2023 to do the pop-up store, they were asking us kind of questions and kind of talking to us like, oh, do you guys live here? And my wife and I were like, yes, we live here. And they're like, oh, could you answer some questions for us? And when we were leaving, I was like, dude, $50. They're going to see how much money they make here. They're going to see the answers to the questions that they're asking everybody. And if we do well enough, they might put a store out here. And sure enough, baby, 2 years later, they're putting in a shop. Hell yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome. That was all me. Just kidding. Not really. But I'm very excited for that. Hopefully it's a big enough space. There is a brand new kind of shopping area that they had just built adjacent to Hakata Station. So you've got sort of the main Hakata Tower thing that's right there where the Pokemon Center and all the other shopping is. But there is they built a brand new building. If you're looking straight at it, they built another building kind of like to the right-hand side, kind of like a little foot hanging off of it. That's like, I think it's like 4 or 5 stories tall. It's not as tall as the station, but it's pretty big. And they had a bunch of space for rent. When I was living there, they had they were trying to get restaurants in there. They're trying to make a whole little shopping area. So I'm hoping that that's where the new Nintendo store is going to be, that it's not going to be actually inside the station. You can access it from outside via like a stairwell or an escalator because, man, getting up to those higher floors is awful. Hopefully it's got an exterior like entrance. You can just walk right in off the street. It's not going to be a big deal. Hopefully that's and hopefully maybe it'll even be multiple floors like the one in New York. I doubt it because that would be the only 2-story Nintendo store in Japan, but you never know. We'll see. Also, number 2, I really want there to be unique Kyushu merchandise. So to give you an idea of why I want that, recently, for the last 6 months, there has been a JR and Pikmin crossover promotion where every single couple weeks at one of the stations in Kyushu, they have like a big Pikmin thing where they sell Pikmin merch and they have like a big train that's painted to look like Pikmin. You can look this up. Actually, here's a photo of it. Here's some photos of the Kyushu Pikmin promotion thing. And it looks really, really cool. I have not been able to go. I'm a huge Pikmin fan, but I've just been too busy with work and doing other things. I'm gonna have to put it off and just not go. Plus, most of that merchandise that I've seen, I already have. The only thing that is a bummer is that they have said, and I haven't confirmed this, but they have said that there is like unique JR Kyushu Pikmin merchandise you can get. They didn't say what it was, but $50, it's like a keychain. That's usually whenever they kind of say that kind of stuff. Like I've gone to events and stuff where they're like, oh, we have unique Kyushu merchandise. And I'm like, dude, if I can get cool like Pokemon or Nintendo merchandise with Kyushu stuff on it, that'd be fantastic. But it's like just like a keychain with a picture of Pikachu and it just says Kyushu, and it's like, that's not really that cool. Like, can't it say like Fukuoka City and it's got a bunch of Pikmin carrying strawberries or something, like, or like something like with tonkatsu ramen or something, like do something that's like a local kind of thing, right? They never really go that in depth, but hopefully for the actual Nintendo store, they will sell some actual like Kyushu Fukuoka stuff. Because you can bet your bottom dollar, folks, I am getting a Nintendo Fukuoka shirt. I want one of those so badly. I wanted to buy the because when the pop-up store came to Fukuoka, they had the red or the gray Nintendo logo shirts, but it said Tokyo on it. And I was like, boy, I'm not from Tokyo. I don't live in Tokyo. I don't want to represent Tokyo. Like I don't want to be a poser here. So I just passed. I was like, if it said Fukuoka, cool. But now they're making one and it's like, yes, Fukuoka, baby. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I love Fukuoka. I love it out here at Kyushu. So Kyushu, Fukuoka City, give us some actual like, unique merchandise, please. Also, my final hope for this is that this is an indication that Nintendo is going to beef up their merchandise line. Now, what I mean by that is this. I usually check the My Nintendo store probably like once a month to see, hey, what are the new things they got going on? What are they selling? Because usually about once every 2 to 3 weeks, they have a new like line of something come out. Like recently they did a Hanafuda line. If you don't know what Hanafuda is like an old card game, because back in the day in Japan, they were very, very strict on gambling. They didn't want anybody gambling. And so the government was like, hey, no playing cards. But of course, people found a way around it and they just kind of created the game of Hanafuda, which is really fun. I bought a pack of Hanafuda cards, and Nintendo, before they were a toy company and before they were a video game company, they made Hanafuda playing cards. That's why when you see that got Kyushu on the brain. When you see that Kyoto original Nintendo headquarters, it says like Nintendo trading card game, like corporation or whatever. Because that's what they made. And so they have like a really cool Hanafuda line that they just released. I think they released like a t-shirt or two. They released a couple of like other things like glasses and cups and mugs and some towels and things like that. I bought a really cool towel. Here's a photo of it, of Boo. They changed one of the Hanafuda cards from, I believe it's a moon, and they turned it into Boo. It's the August card. But it's really cool. I got that, and I got the t-shirt. Here's the t-shirt too. It's actually very well made. That's probably my biggest complaint with some of the Nintendo merch right now, is that some of their t-shirts are kind of cheap. They're really not that well made. When you go to the New York store, and what I'm assuming the San Francisco store, they are like tri-blend shirts. They're really well made. Like you can't feel the printing on the shirt, like it's not like raised up printing and thick and scratchy. It's like really well made. Some of the Nintendo shirts out here are not very well made. Some of them are, but some of them are not. It's weird. Hopefully though, what I mean by to say is my kind of wrap this whole idea up as a whole. Hopefully they will stock a lot more merchandise now that they're opening up more stores, and hopefully the quality of those t-shirts will be a little bit better moving forward, because now you're going to have a whole bunch of stores and you're going to have to keep those stocked, and hopefully you're going to put a little bit more quality into those products. Whenever I go on the Nintendo store now, you got a 50-50 shot of stuff being sold out in like a day. And now you cannot export this stuff to any other country. Like if you buy this stuff, you have to ship it to an address in Japan. So When I buy stuff, it comes straight to my place here in Japan. So that means that they are selling out of like all this merchandise constantly just from the market here in Japan. So I think they need to start doubling the amount of merch that they're making. I think that Nintendo needs to wake up, realize, hey, people want to buy your merchandise. You need to make plenty of it. Very famously, at least out here in the circles that I run in, Nintendo, when Pikmin 4 came out, they released 3 little Pikmin planters that you could put like flowers into. They had a red one, a yellow one, and a blue one. Here's what they look like. They're the cutest things ever. They were impossible to get, like when they came out. You could not get these things. They were always sold out online, and the only chance you had of getting one was going to the store on a day that they got a shipment. Like, it was impossible. Finally, now you can relatively get them easy, but for like, I don't know, 7 months to almost a year, you just could not get them. My wife somehow got all 3 of them in a lottery, and she gave them to me for like my birthday or something, and it was just fantastic. I was so excited. I was like, hell yeah. I could not believe that it happened. But yeah, hopefully they will up the merch line, make a little bit more stuff available. They made a really cool Metroid thermos, like a drink, like a water bottle. It's really, really cool, very well made, and it's like a solid metal, but it's got like grooves on it. It's like it's like one of the coolest things ever. And I never used mine because I only was able to buy one. I bought one, and then I was going to come back like a day or two later and order another one, and I did. But instead of keeping it for myself, I sent it off to my good buddy Joe because he's a huge Metroid fan. And then when I went to go buy a third one, because I wanted to keep one in the box and never touch it, and then I wanted to actually use the other one, when I went to go buy my third, they had already sold out, and they have never restocked since. So hopefully one day I'll be able to get another one so I can actually use it, because it's really cool. But there's no way I'm taking that out of the box. It's too clean. It's too pretty. It's too pretty to touch. And I asked Joe, I was like, hey man, are you going to use yours? And he's like, no, man, mine's on the shelf. I'm never touching the damn thing. And I was like, I don't blame you. It's so cool. Because like really well-made Metroid merch does not ever come around, especially in Japan. So yeah, here's hoping that, the store does great. Like Nintendo continues to flourish as a brand, and we get more and more cool items. Whenever it opens up later this year, if I'm supposed to go home for Christmas this year, so depending on when the store opens, I'll try to be there either opening day or opening weekend. I'll get some footage for you guys and post it on here, and maybe I'll do an actual like video for a change, where there's actually like not just gameplay footage or pictures or whatever. There's actually footage of me walking around showing you what the store looks like. But depends on the dates, depends if I can go, depends on what's going on. But if I can, I will be there opening day. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, just wanted to share the good news. I'm super excited. Where would you want Nintendo to open up a store? Like, if you could pick one place, where would you want to put it, and why? Other than, I guess, because you live there. But maybe even strategically, where do you think that it would possibly do the best? Yeah, leave your comments below. And as always, everybody, take care of each other out there.